Hey everybody, so I just wanted to post this video and talk about the channel, where I've been, and kind of give you some updates on what you can expect going forward. The channel's not going anywhere. I am still active here. I ended up taking like a month off for some personal reasons, which I'll kind of touch on in a moment. But I just wanted to give you kind of an overview of the videos I have planned. I have like a list of 20 here on my phone that I'll just kind of talk about momentarily. Sorry, there's a garbage truck going by outside. Always when I go to record videos in the theater room or anywhere, there's always some type of noise. Basically, the past month, I kind of wanted to take a little bit of time off after coming back from North Carolina at audio advice, but I ended up like extending that by a month instead of like a week. And I mean, it's just some personal reasons, going through some personal things. Unfortunately, last week, we unexpectedly had to put our cat down that we've had for 4 to 5 years. And that just was much harder than I anticipated, my wife anticipated. We didn't have any clue that we would have to do that. Basically, she had what we think is something called FIP, which is like a feline virus, where they get it when they're kittens. If they survive, it kind of lays dormant in their body, and it can be activated again at any time. So she was around 7, maybe 8 years old. At 2:30 in the morning, I got up to use the bathroom. Noticed she was kind of like wobbling. She could barely walk, faintly meowing, and then she just kind of like collapsed and just became like very unresponsive and lethargic. She was still breathing and everything, but yeah, we took her into the vet. They did a bunch of tests and they kind of narrowed it down between FIP or cancer. And so instead of kind of putting her through a lot of pain and suffering, because like literally either cancer or FIP has no treatment, we could only like make her comfortable slightly in the coming months, but it was basically just like delaying the inevitable. And so we made the hard decision to not put her through any more pain and suffering. And yeah, it was still really hard. We still expect to see her around the house. And yeah, so yeah, I was going to post a video last week, but as you can expect, it's been pretty hard on both of us. We basically lost a family member. So anyone who's ever lost a pet or anything could probably understand that. But anyway, sorry to start this out on that kind of note. But, you know, it's just what I've been going through, why I haven't been here. Sorry about the lack of videos and stuff lately, but we're going to turn that around. So basically, I'll go through the list on my phone of videos I have planned. Now, this is in by no means any order. I know you guys have been asking, and I have promised the mini DSP tutorials, the updated one with the new interface. That is coming. That is, I've not forgotten about that. I'm not going to not do it. What I want to do with that is really try to elevate or make better the videos that I had before. And so I want to make it more concise, but like more engaging. I don't want to release it as a series week to week. I want to maybe give you guys options. So like have one long video that has chapters in it that you could follow. And then for people that like to have them in like more bite-sized chunks, I guess, have that series, but maybe try to release a series over the course of like a day or two instead of, you know, week to week. Because as a user myself, as like an audience member, if I'm going to follow a tutorial, I don't want to follow part 1 and then have to wait a week to do the next part because, okay, well, I'm already in part 1. So I think most people waited for the entire series to come out before they followed the guide, because it just didn't make sense to do part 1 without having part 2, 3, and 4, or whatever, how many parts it's going to be. So I've been trying to think of a way to do that. Let me know in the comments below if you prefer like one long video, shorter, like kind of, you know, 15 to 20 minute videos, and how you guys would like that delivered to you. I'm going to try to make it so everyone's kind of happy with that. You know, you can't please everyone, but something that kind of makes sense for me to do and work on, because these videos do take a long time. The tutorials especially, to try to make them you know, where you could follow, like where anyone could follow them that maybe doesn't have as much technical knowledge or acuity. So just thanks for understanding. Thanks for sticking by. It is coming. But yeah, let's run through the list of videos that I have planned. So again, no particular order here. We have the Aperion Audio Clear 6C reviews. That's the in-ceiling speakers from Aperion Audio. I've had 2 of them for like a year, and then another 2 for like 6 months. So I have 4. That review should be pretty full featured, I think. I really actually like the speakers. I'm going to keep them. Along the same lines with Aperion Audio, I do have their Bravus 2 12D subwoofer that I've had, again, for like a year. In like their cherry walnut, I think is the name, or just some, I can't remember the finish, but really nice subwoofer. Going to do a review of that. I also want to do a comparison of the Bravus 2 10D subwoofer, which I still have, along with the Bravus 2 12D. Along with subwoofers, moving on, the SVS PB4000 review, still have those. I also want to do the 4000 and 3000 comparison because I still have the PB3000s. And then also I thought something that would be kind of cool, basically all the SVS subwoofers have a 3-band parametric EQ built in, which I think is a really good addition. But what a lot of people don't realize is you can actually use REW and their auto EQ functionality to put like a house curve to, like, basically if you have like 2 to 4 SVS subwoofers, or it could be any subwoofer with parametric EQ functionality, you can actually get those dialed in without a mini DSP and put a pretty decent amount of EQ. I don't want to say a decent amount of EQ, but you can actually EQ them just using the 3-band parametric EQs. And I need to do a little more testing before I make that video, but for anyone with subwoofers with parametric EQs, this could actually be a inexpensive kind of stopgap until you can afford a mini DSP, or you might actually go through the process and get good enough response in your room that you don't need a mini DSP. So it will actually save you time and money. Also, I have had the SVS Prime Wireless Pros for like 6 months, and I've been using those as well. They've been our 2-channel setup in the living room for like 6 months, and they've been awesome. So mini review right there. They're awesome. I like them. So I actually have the UMic 2 review that I still want to do. Because I've had that for 6 months. Mini DSP Flex review, I've had that for 6 months as well. Mini DSP had sent both of those. I did do a video on setting up the Flex in the living room, but I haven't really done a full review. I also want to do a Flex and 2x4 HD comparison because that is, I think, something that comes up. Should I get the Flex or should I get the 2x4 HD? Depending on what you need to do with your system, one kind of makes more sense than the other, and kind of vice versa. But I'll kind of talk about that and why you maybe want to go with the Flex or the 2x4 HD, or maybe stick with the 2x4 HD. I also want to do a UMic 1 and UMic 2 comparison video because that's honestly one of the most common questions that I've seen, not just on my channel, but like on the internet through various forums and things like that, is should I go with the UMic 2 over the UMic 1? Is it that much better? Is it better at all? So I'll be doing just kind of a, maybe a 5-minute video comparing the two, because that's a question that I had. And yeah, we'll see what the results are. I already talked about the updated mini DSP subwoofer tutorial, which is coming. Again, I want to make it as fully featured for you guys as possible, while also being entertaining and informative and stuff, but also trying to make it better than the previous videos. Those videos came out, 2 or 3 years ago. So definitely I'm going to do that. That hopefully will be out within the next month. That's my goal for that, is to spend a week doing production on it, because it does take a while to film, and then kind of getting it all edited and then releasing it once. So that should be out within a month. That's my goal. And then also the full manual calibration tutorial that I've talked about, using the Denon graphic EQ instead of using like Odyssey or something. Kind of along the same lines is I do want to do a manual calibration and Odyssey Multi-Q XT32 comparison. Kind of the ins and outs of both, like, is one better than the other? Why should you do this? Is there like a combination of kind of manual EQ or tweaks that you can do to XT32 that will get you better results than the manual EQ without spending too much additional money. Like I know the Multi EQ X is like $200, but if you could afford not to do that, okay, that's saving, you know, money there. Along those same lines is I'm actually thinking about doing this video just kind of quickly and releasing it this weekend, talking about the Room EQ Wizard beta, because I've been using the beta for the past like 4 or 5 months over the official release, and there's a few features in the beta. They're kind of game changing in a way for me in terms of like subwoofer alignment and just overall calibration that I think that everyone that uses REW should consider switching over to the beta, or at least having it installed. So I'll probably do that video because it should be pretty quick, and it is relevant to the mini DSP, updated mini DSP tutorial that I'll be doing, because I'll be using the beta, and that is going to be one of the requirements, is that you actually get the beta for Room EQ Wizard, because it makes the whole process so much simpler. I am going to eventually do a video on multi-sub optimizer, and I'll also do like a multi-sub optimizer versus like manual calibration. I know a lot of people swear by multi-sub optimizer, rightfully so, if you can get it to where it's actually working properly. Honestly, I've never had results from it that match or exceed the ones that I've done manually. So I also want to do a video about measuring Dolby Atmos speakers in Room EQ Wizard, like the height speakers, the front wides, things like that. I think a lot of people are still kind of confused about like how that works, so I'll probably do a video on that. Want to do a video on the Dolby Atmos update for the PS5. It's been out officially for a while. I've been using it. It's kind of interesting how it works, so probably just do a quick video about that, talking about like, okay, how does this work? Is it good? Is it better? Like there's some things that it does great. There are some games that have actual like custom Dolby Atmos mixes, like Spider-Man 2, that has some custom Dolby Atmos mix stuff in there. It's I think it's one of the first games, so it should be interesting. And then finally, Halloween's right around the corner. I don't want to say finally, I have one more after this, sorry. Halloween's right around the corner, so I'm thinking of doing like a top 10 horror movie demo material, or just horror movies in general, just kind of something a little different for Halloween. I never really do like custom things for, you know, certain times of the year. So that should be pretty fun to talk about. I might try working on getting like a guest or two, like a kind of special guest, to talk about their favorite Halloween movies. So that should be kind of fun. And then, yeah, finally, I want to talk about something that I never really touched on. Is I've had the LG OLED for a while, and I've actually calibrated it quite a few times with Calman Home for LG. So I was thinking about doing a tutorial for that, or more just like a general, like, how does this work? Is it worth it? Should you consider it? You know, kind of things like that. So that's pretty much, I think I've talked long enough. It's like 19 minutes now on the camera. Wow. Sorry, this video just ended up being me rambling. But hopefully that kind of gives you some indication of like, channel's not going anywhere. All these videos are planned. They are coming. Sorry, I've just had a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Wish I could have updated you guys sooner, but I'm here now. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and I really appreciate it. You know, a lot of people are still active in the comments. I still have a few patrons, so I am going to be updating that more regularly as well. I've kind of, yeah, it's just the past month has been kind of nuts and crazy. So we're here now, though. We're going to keep trucking along. I hope you'll stick with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.